Good morning, students. This is Mr. Chartier, and I am going to show you how to use Google Docs today. Okay, this should be day 5 of our modules. And so we're going to start on the dashboard of our Canvas. Okay, for my students, you know that we are in marine science this year. It's the one with the jellyfish. We go ahead and click that, and it'll take us to our Canvas Marine Science homepage. Okay, so we have our options here. I've made it simple for you. All you have to do is click this picture, and it will take you to our daily modules. Okay, so this is the modules page. We see that we have done day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and today is day 5, and it says how to use Google Docs. So to access this, we will click. Okay, it'll take us right to the Canvas assignment page, and you can see that I've inserted a Google Doc right into the page. At the top, it gives us our instructions. Fill out the Google Doc worksheet as the teacher has instructed you, then submit it. Okay, so now that we're in here, you should see a submit button over here. When you're finished, you'll click that and it'll turn it in. You have two options. You can go ahead and just do the worksheet right in here. Okay, you can do everything right from this screen, or you can click on this blue text and it'll automatically make a copy for you and open it up in a new tab. I like to use this. For me, I just like the whole screen to be what I'm working on. So I'm going to click this button. It opens up a new tab for me, and it gives me the whole Google Doc in a whole screen. Okay, so quickly I know I'm in that screen because it has this blue paper in the top left hand corner. You have the name if you want to rename it. I don't, so I'll leave it alone. We have our file button, edit button, view, insert.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Sorry, I'm the only person in the conference. So we have this insert button, and we can insert images in our documents. Okay, we can do tables, we can do drawings, we can do charts, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay. Now also we can change the font style. Okay, so different fonts. We can change the size. We can make it bold. We can italicize it. We can underline it. We can change the color of it, or we could highlight it. Okay, and there's many other stuff, but that would be among the top things that I want to show you. So for today's assignment, here's what I would like for you to do, and here's what I'm going to show you. Today, I will show you how to highlight and change the font color. I'm going to show you how to quick search. I'm going to show you how to use Google Draw, and I'm going to show you how to translate a document. All right. The next instructions say for today's assignment, we will use this article. Which article? The one right here. Okay, all of this. So scroll down to the questions below the article. So we have to go below the article to get the questions. So here they are. Okay, so we're going to start at number 1. Normally we would read this article first and then go to the questions, but for today, I just want to use these to show you how to do things. Okay, so number 1 says use the quick search function, and I told you what the keys are. Control plus F to find and highlight these words. So I've given you 3 words to find and highlight. Okay, so let's use the quick search function. It is Control F. If you're on a Mac, it's Command F, but most of you are on Windows, so it'll be Control plus F. When you do that, notice I have this box pull up in the top right hand side. Okay, we can type in this box. That means that anything that we type in that box, it will search the page to see if it's there. So let's type in my name, Chartier. It didn't find any results. So 0 of 0. There was no results for my name. So that means that word is not on this page. So let's look for the word Florida, because that's the first one I put in there. We'll type it in. So notice that immediately we see Florida starts getting highlighted on the screen. Okay. And we see here it says 5 of 5. That means that there is 5 times the word Florida shows up on this screen. Okay, we have these arrows, and that basically means we can just cycle through. So we can look at each time that that word shows up. So if we click this, it goes 1 of 5. That means this is the first time. This one is the first time Florida shows up. The second time that word shows up, and the third time, the fourth, and the fifth is in the question. So within the article, it shows up 4 times. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight it in yellow. Okay, there's 2 ways you can highlight it. You're going to have to select the text first. So you can do that 2 ways. You either hold the cursor down and drag it over the word, or you can put your cursor over the word and just double click. Okay, I think the second way is faster. So the highlight button, as you can see, I'll do it again so you can see it. I'll double click the word, select it, and then up here in this bar, okay, we see there's a marker. If you just hang out over it for a few seconds, it'll tell you it's a highlight. Okay, we'll click it. It gives us a color palette. Okay, once we're in the color palette, it will have a bright yellow option. I would like for you to choose that. Okay, notice when the quick search function is on, it doesn't look like very bright, but it will once you click this X button. So for the time being, let's just quickly go through and highlight all the times Florida shows up. Okay, and then I will hit the X button. So now notice the word Florida is a bright yellow, exactly how I'd like it. All right, the next word is DeSantis. There it is right there. Okay, so I will use the Control F feature again to pull it up. DeSantis. Okay, it shows up 5 times. Once is in the question, so there's 4 times it shows up in the article. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for this one, it asked to highlight in green. So I'm going to double click to select it, go back up to my highlight tool, open it up, and the green that I like is right here next to the yellow. It's a lime green. Okay, so I'll click it, and I will quickly go through and highlight. Okay, now I'll X out of that. And now that's done. All right, the last word we need to look for says brick and mortar. Notice this is kind of more of a phrase. It's a longer word. So we'll use the control function, the quick search function, and we'll type in the document brick. But notice this, that shows up twice. And we see brick here, and we can see and mortar. So we don't have to type in the rest of it to have it all pull up. And if we choose the other time it shows up, it's just down here. So there's only one time that shows up in the article. It's right here. So we can't double click it. Oh wow, we can. So there we go. We can double click for that one. But normally, say I wanted to get earlier the state had ordered, I can't just do that. Okay, it's going to do the whole paragraph. So for more of a sentence, you have to drag and hold. But I think brick and mortar, you can double click because technically there's no spaces. There's dashes. So we'll do that. It said to put this one in red. So here's the red right here. Notice what happens when you put it in red. You can't really read it as well. Okay, it happens sometimes with colors. If you ever put it in a color that it does that, and it's just tough to read. Underneath the color is a different shade of the color. So these are light red and another red, and see how it gets darker? It does it with each one. I would say one of the first two light is a good option. So I'll do this one, and notice it's much easier to read. We'll click that, and now it's done. So we just did step one, okay? Number 2, it says change the font color of the last paragraph to purple. Okay, so we need to find the last paragraph, and it's right here. We will get it, and it says we need to change the font color to purple. So we're not highlighting this, okay? Notice if I were to highlight it, look what would happen. It would highlight, and it would take away that highlight for Florida. So we're not highlighting this. We need to undo it. So if you ever make a mistake, this button right here at the top is undo. We click it. Notice we get our highlight back, and it basically erases it for us. So if you want to highlight the whole paragraph quickly, we triple click it. So triple click. Now to change the font color, it's right here. It's this A. So we'll pull the A up, and we will find the purple, change it to purple. So now number 2 is good. Number 3, change the font color of the first paragraph to red. So the same thing, but a different color and a different paragraph. So the first paragraph. So here's the first paragraph. I'll triple click it, highlight the whole thing, go up to the text color, and we'll put it in red. Now, before we put it in a light red, but because this is not a highlight, but instead a color change, the bright will look better. See how that looks? It pops out and it catches your eye. Okay, so good. So we have all our highlights and we have our text changes. So we've done number 1, 2, 3. And now on number 4, it asks us to translate the document into your preferred language. So if you speak a different language, we can translate this entire thing into what you would like to speak. Okay, so you have your tools button here. Okay, you open up your tools and you scroll down to where it says translate document. It's right here. Okay. Click here, and it gives you this option, okay, to choose a language. So now you can choose whatever language you'd like for it to be in. Okay, say we want to change it to Chinese. Now we have it selected. We click this button, translate. Now what happens is you'll still have an English copy, but it will make a new tab for you with the translated document. So notice, I click translate, and now my document is in Chinese. Okay, but I still have the highlights. Okay, do you see that? It still has the color change. Okay, so now, how would we navigate this? Well, we have the Chinese document and we have the English document. So notice we have both documents. So say you speak Chinese and you want to answer questions in Chinese, you would go ahead and type, and then you could copy and paste and put it back over here in the English one and turn this one in. Okay, so just a quick option. So I'm going to get rid of the Chinese one because I don't understand Chinese, and we will keep working. Okay, so we've done all of these, and we see that it says keep scrolling, so we'll go down, and we'll do the last thing for today, which is using Google Draw. Okay, we're going to use this quite a bit. Let's go ahead and read the instructions. It says to use Google Draw, you must double click on the graphic below. That is this. we're going to use Google Draw to sort the top phrases into the correct category. So we need to move these into which one it belongs into. All right. So what I want you to pay attention to is my mouse. So the mouse is over here to the left. You see I'm moving it. Now it's big. Okay. Notice that's just one arrow. So there's only one arrow right now. But notice what happens when I move it onto the document. It turns into what looks like an I. So it lets me know I can type. If I click here, I can type. But here, it doesn't have that same feature. Here I can type. Okay, but now watch what happens when I move it on top of the Google drawing picture. It goes into 4 arrows. Do you see that? It almost looks like a compass. Okay, that lets you know you can drag and move it. So if we click it one time, we'll get this blue box around it. When that shows up, down here we have options. Okay, to be able to move these around, we need to click the edit button. So we'll click edit, and this will pop up. Okay, this is how you will move these into the right category. So the same thing like before. Notice I have one. Let me see if I get that big. No, there it is. So I have one arrow. When I put it in the box, I have a type, so I can type in here. But I can click as well. And when I click, I get the blue thing around it. And notice that when I pull my cursor to the edge, sometimes it goes away. But when I pull it to the edge of the box, for the most part, I get the 4 arrows. See, right now I can't do anything with it because it's the type. But right now I can because it's the 4 arrows. So you see, you click and you hold it, and then you drag wherever you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the things, and this says this is where you submit your assignments. So where do you submit assignments? You put it in the one that it is. Okay, I'll just leave it in the middle. I don't want to give you the answer. Which one is used for checking your grades? Okay, which one? Okay, where do you complete your daily work? Where do you do this? Okay, so if you put these, you just need to arrange them where they are all underneath the arrows. Okay. When you're finished, when you believe you're done, you click Save and Close at the very top. Okay. If you ever need to add anything to Google Draw, you will click a shape. Okay. See the shapes, the little O's. And you can, now it gives you what looks like a plus sign. You just click and hold, and you can draw your shape as big as you'd like, as little as you like. Okay, let it go. You can type in it. Okay, notice that you can change the background of the rectangle. You can change it if you click on this little bucket. It'll change it to yellow. You can change the weight of it. So what that means is the weight of the border. So watch, if I click the higher number, see how it did that to the border. Okay, you can highlight or select what you typed. You can change the font. You can make it bigger. You can italicize it. You can bold it. Change the color. You can do it all. Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of options is what I'm trying to say here. There's a lot of options. And for me, I'm going to delete it because I don't need it anymore. So I select it, delete it. Remember, when you're done, you click Save and Close, and it will update it. So as you put all these things where they need to be, you'll see it'll change. And that's it. Your Google Doc worksheet should be finished. When it's all done, you come back to this screen here. This is the submission screen. And you click the button here that says submit. Okay, make sure you see the date and the time show up. And you're finished. Okay, that is how you use Google Docs. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, go ahead and reach out if you have any questions. Bye.